Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. From now on, I'm going to try and produce more regular content. I've had a couple of weeks off around Christmas and New Year's time just to reset and recharge. And we're going to kick this year off with a video on my beloved 7 Series. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually a chauffeur by trade, but due to the current climate, my business literally went down the drain during 2020. And unfortunately, this beautiful TechFest luxury 730 LD goes back to Tony Lewis and Berry BMW next week. As you can see, this car is absolutely covered in filth at the moment. It's this time of year. I haven't got any clients in town, so there's no point in cleaning it. But if you want to see a video on this car, looking at the tech and inside and outside in detail, there'll be a link to that video up here somewhere. I shot it during the summertime. As this was spending a lot of its time sitting around doing nothing during 2020, I had a lot of video ideas, and one of them that kept making its way to the top of my list was driving this car from London to Barcelona, which I worked out to be about 890 miles. Now, that does sound kind of ridiculous, especially as this is a 2-ton, 5+ meter luxury limo, but it has the brilliant B57 engine under the bonnet, and it has a 78-litre fuel tank. So when you combine those two, it is capable of doing more or less 900 miles. By the time I was ready to do that London to Barcelona trip, travel restrictions had come in and meant that I couldn't take this car on the continent, so I had to come up with a second plan, and that was to drive around much of England. So let's rewind a few weeks to me at a fuel station very early in the morning, filling this car up with a tank of diesel, and then you can join me on the adventures and find out exactly how far I managed to go. Good morning guys, it is approaching 9 AM and I've been on the road 2 hours and 40 minutes and approaching 180 miles. My MPG average is 51.3. Feels like I've had a bit of a headwind so far, but otherwise the conditions haven't been too bad. It's currently 1 degree Celsius outside. Providing the wind stays in the same direction today, we should benefit from that later on, and it should become a tailwind. So fingers crossed, maybe later in the journey we can make up a few more miles to the gallon. As you can see, I'm dressed in very comfortable, casual clothes today, similar to what I would wear on a long haul flight. And actually, I'm going to be in this car for at least 12 hours today, maybe up to 14 or 15 hours, which is longer than I'd spend on a flight to LA or Tokyo. So I'm going to try and bring you updates every 2 to 3 hours and then give you time lapses everywhere else, basically. Join me at the 5-hour mark. We've covered almost 340 miles and we're currently in the beautiful Lake District. It's -1 out there, but beautiful and sunny. We've been doing all right. We're averaging about 51.5 miles to the gallon. I really need to get that up, but I still feel that we're pushing into a bit of a headwind. And also the whole time we're going to be getting lighter and lighter as I drink the fluids that I've got for myself. I've got about 3 or 4 litres of water, and obviously the car drinks its 78 litres of premium diesel. Let's just talk about what we're looking at here in front of us, the journey data. We've actually got 3 different scales, if you like. The one on the left is the past 10 miles. So as you can see, the MPG is going up and down as we sort of go up and down through the lakes. Flat roads are the best for efficiency. Having to go uphill and downhill really doesn't do the car too many favors, but this is a realistic test, and it would certainly be like that whether I was going to Barcelona or wherever. The next bit along is the 10 to 100 scale, so that's the last sort of 100 miles, if you like. You can see it's been reasonably consistent. You can see the little peak there actually, which is where we had a really nice flat section, and the car was managing to sit at about 58 miles to the gallon along that bit. And then to the far right is the 100 to 1,000 mile scale, which we're going to get close to using the whole thing, hopefully. And that gives you a good idea of where we've been sitting. We're very consistent. The line down the middle is our average so far, so that's sitting at 51.3 mpg. From my house on the outskirts of London to Barcelona, you're looking at 890 miles door to door. This car has a 78 litre fuel tank. In gallons, that is 17.15. To achieve 890 miles, I need to average 52 miles to the gallon. That's what I've worked out anyway. Hopefully I'm right. So at 51.5, we're just below that. Obviously we have a small amount of reserve fuel in this car, and I'm probably going to have to run it on empty for a few miles towards the end of the journey, but let's see how that goes. Join me at 3:30. We've just clocked over 545 miles, and our journey time, so the time I've been in the driver's seat and driving, is 8 hours and 31 minutes. But most importantly, my miles to the gallon figure is at 52.3, which is just over that magic 52 that I need to achieve. At least that's what I've worked out in my head. Hopefully I'm right. The car's saying that it has a range of 362 miles left, which gives me a total claimed range of about 900 miles, which is exactly what we need. So fingers crossed that it stays like that. My 730 LD uses BMW's brilliant B57 engine, and those of you regulars on my channel, you'd have heard me talk about that quite a lot. This particular one is a 3 litre inline 6 single turbocharged diesel engine. It's just mighty. This doesn't have the mild hybrid system like that M340D did that I had recently, but it still produces about 265 horsepower, 620 newton meters of torque. You've got the brilliant ZF 8-speed auto box, which is calibrated very, very well in this car, and it runs all the power and torque through the rear wheels only. So this isn't an X-drive, this is a rear wheel drive car, which does help with efficiency. And in fact, the 7 Series I had before this, the pre-facelift, was the 740 LD X-drive, and that was far less efficient. I mean, probably 15 or 20% less. The fact that this car is capable of doing even over 600 miles to a tank is impressive, but hopefully we can achieve 900, and I think 900 miles in a car this big and this luxurious that would also do the 0 to 62 sprint in about 6 seconds dead. It's just amazing, really is. I think it's an incredible car, it's an incredible package, and I really want this video to demonstrate that, to show what a mighty car this is. I mean, how many times would we have had to have charged a Porsche Taycan by now? Well, we're fast approaching 600 miles, so we would have already had to have charged it from 0 to full twice, and about to do our third charge. So, unbelievable. We're just about to go past Nottingham. The sun is about to set, so the next time you join me, it'll be dark, and I'm guessing that'll be somewhere down near the M25. It's 20 past 6 and you join me back on the M25, which is the motorway that circulates London. We're going around the east side of it. I've just crossed over the Dartford crossing, or the Dartford Bridge, which is basically Essex area, and I'm now going around to the bottom of the M25, and we're going to take the M23, which heads down towards Brighton past Gatwick Airport. So far we have covered 720 miles exactly. We left home, well, 6 AM this morning, so we've been going for more than 12 hours, but the amount of time I've actually spent in the saddle effectively, or in the seat driving, is 11 hours and 13 minutes. Once again, the most important figure though is the miles per gallon, and that's at 52.3. It's been at 52.3 for a good few hours now, and that is just good enough in my calculations. So we need to cover about an extra, or another 160 miles, and the car says it has 169 miles left in its tank. So it's gonna be pretty close, I think. I'm on my second Red Bull. I think I've had 3 coffees today, 2 Red Bulls. I had an iced coffee this morning and a cup of tea actually. So yeah, plenty of caffeine and sugar to keep me going. I've eaten way too much, but that's kind of what you do on road trips. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I don't mind spending a bit of time on my own, listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm feeling a bit tired, but not like really tired. If I was feeling really tired, I'd pull over and get some fresh air. It's 3 degrees out there, so it's perfect to just go for a little walk, but I'm feeling good. I think the next time you speak to me will be the make or break time. Let's hope that we can make it. I really, really want to see 890 miles on that readout over there. Just give you an idea of where we are right now. So we're around the bottom of the M25 now, Seven Oaks sort of area. Yeah, it's one of the GoPros turning off. Anyway, speak to you in a bit, guys. just past 9 o'clock, and in fact I started my journey pretty much on the other side of this road, going the other direction, over 15 hours ago. I've been behind the wheel almost 14 hours exactly, and it's just clocked over 879 miles. So 10 miles to go to reach my 890 mile London to Barcelona estimation. Well, it's not an estimation, that's how far it is. I'm off the main motorway now, and I'm in my neighborhood surrounded by petrol stations and stuff, so if I were to run out of fuel, it wouldn't be A, dangerous, or B, difficult for me to get fuel and fill this car up. So I'm going to proceed and chase that 890 mile target. It would be awesome to actually get 900 miles because it's a nice round figure, and that'll give me something to beat down the track. Yes, I would love to go for something like this again. Need to figure out what car could have a bigger range than this one. So if you know of any, please leave them in the comments below. I've literally been driving around in circles near where I live and near this Shell petrol station. I have just passed the 900 mile mark. I've been on zero range for about 15 miles now, so playing with fire a little bit. It's -1.5 outside, and I'm definitely going to call it a day now because I don't fancy breaking down even if I am a couple of miles away from home. It's been an epic day, really has. 15.5 hours ago I left home. The car's been amazing. I couldn't have picked a more comfortable and seemingly more efficient car to do it in. I'm feeling great. Everything's okay. My heels are a little bit numb and my right elbow is a little bit bruised. But you're going to expect that when you spend so long behind the wheel. So here we go. I think we might just about clock over at 9:01 as we pull into the Shell now. We can literally freewheel into here, thankfully. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe we have made it. That is just epic. Really, really is. Unbelievable. Wow. Well, look at that. 900.8 miles. 14 hours and 23 minutes in the seat. 52.7 miles to the gallon. I hope you really enjoyed this video and appreciate the effort that's gone into it. The planning that went into this beforehand, and then obviously, yeah, massively long day and now all of the editing. But yeah, really interesting experiment, and I look forward to trying to break the 900 mile mark in a car very soon. Cheers, thanks a lot for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and I will see you at the next one.